the equivalent term for pharmacy in the UK. In the States, we use the term pharmacy or drugstore, but what is the equivalent in the UK? I checked 2 sources, but came up with nothing.
Chemist, chemist shop, or sometimes pharmacy. I've never heard drugstore in the UK, though one of the big chains is called Superdrug.
Technically, a chemist's shop will contain a pharmacy, which is the counter where prescription drugs can be obtained. Because it may be necessary to get these when shops are closed, there is a rota published in the local paper, for example, of out-of-hours pharmacies. Some of these are in supermarkets or 24-hour shops.
It's a chemist's, though drugstore is starting to creep into standard UK usage too.
I think that the answer to this has changed over the last 30 years or so. When I was a kid, chemists was invariably the term I heard, though pharmacy wouldn't have been incorrect. But recently, I don't think I've heard anyone say chemists, it's always been pharmacy. I've never heard a Brit say drugstore. Although we have a chain called Superdrug, I distinctly recall thinking the name was weird and slightly creepy when I first encountered it. I still do when I think about it, though of course one gets used to the anomaly. I can't say how localized or typical this experience is. I'm from middle-class southern Britain, but your kilometerage might vary.
The most common, and one that would be understood by 99.9% of people living in the UK, will call it a pharmacy. Although, you'd get away with calling it a chemist. People mentioning Boots or Superdrug should note that that is a full shop, not just a pharmacy or chemist. Tilde source me, as an Englishman. In order to clarify the terms chemist and pharmacy, although in the UK, people might or will interpret these differently, apparently, I have included a comparison for you. A chemist is a scientist who develops drugs, and a pharmacy is a store that sells drugs. However, in Britain the word chemist is commonly used to denote a pharmacy.
If you wasn't already down, big subscribing.